Hi everyone, welcome back to Code Family. This is Swashish. So in this video, we are going to cover top 40 C programming beginner to advanced MCQ questions and answers. And at the end of this video, I am going to share two bonus questions with you. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So here comes our first question, which is what is the size of an int data type in C? So we have our four options. Option A 2 bytes, option B 4 bytes, option C 8 bytes, and option D says it depends on the compiler. So in this moment, you can stop this video and comment down the correct answer, whatever you think. So now it's my turn. So its correct answer will be option D. It depends on the compiler. As you can see in the explanation, the size of int can vary depending on the system architecture, though it is typically of 4 bytes on modern systems. So if you're using 32-bit or 64-bit computer, then the size of int will be of 4 bytes. And if you are using less than 32-bit of computer, then there the size of int will be 2 bytes. So here let's jump to our next question. So our second question says which header file is required to use printf and scanf functions? Option A stdio.h, option B conio.h, option C stdlib, or option D math.h. So here the correct answer will be option A. As you can see, the stdio.h header file contains declarations of printf and scanf functions. So if you want to use scanf and printf functions, so first you have to include the header file, which is stdio.h. So I hope you got to know about this question. So our third question is which function is used to find the length of a string in C? It is talking about length of a string. So our first option is strlen function, second is size function, third is strlength function, and option D says str size function. So here the correct answer will be strlen function. As you can see, the strlen function is used to get the length of a string. So in order to get the length of a string, you have to use strlen function. So here comes our fourth question, which says which of the following is the correct operator to compare two variables in C? So it's easy one. Option A single equal to, option B double equal to, option C triple equal to, and option D it is not equal to. So here the correct answer will be option B. As you can see, the double equal to operator is used to check equality in C. So if you want to check that two variables are same or not, you have to use double equal to operator. So double and single equal to is used for assignment and not equal to for inequality. The fifth question is a printing output based question. So you can see we have some code here. So we have started our main method, and there we have a integer type variable where we assign the value as 5. And now we are incrementing a by using a post increment operator, and after that we are simply printing a. Then we are simply returning 0. So we have our four options: option A 5, option B 6, option C compiler error, and option D none of the above. So here the correct answer will be 6. As you can see, the plus plus operator increments the value of A by 1. So the output will be 6. So in C, we have two types of increment operator: post increment and pre-increment. So here we are using post increment operator. What does it means? It means whenever you are using post increment operator, the value of the variable will be increased after this particular statement got executed. So in this particular step, the value of 5 is 5 only, but after it got executed, in this particular statement, the value of a will be increased, so it will become 6. So I hope you got to know about this. So here comes our sixth question, which says which of the following is used for creating a loop that runs a specific number of times? So here we are specifying the number of times the loop is going to be iterate. So we have our four options: if statement, switch statement, for loop, or go to. So here you can also answer this question in the comment section. So here the correct answer will be for loop. So as you can see, a for loop is typically used when the number of iteration is known in advance. So using for loop, we can specify the number of iterations. So our next question is, which of the following is not a valid storage class in C? Auto, register, static, or global? So here the correct answer will be global. As you can see, C language has four storage classes: auto, register, static, and extern. This global is not a valid storage class in C. So we have only four storage class, and this global is not a storage class in C. Our next question is, which of the following is a correct way to define a macro? Here we are talking about how we can define a macro. So option A says hash define pi space 3.14. Option B says macro space pi equal to 3.14. Option C is int pi equal to 3.14, and option D is pi space 3.14. So here the correct answer will be option A. As you can see, macro are defined using hash defined directive in C. So in order to define a macro, we have to first write like hash define. Then we can provide the variable name, which is here pi. Then after some space, we can provide its value. So let's jump to our next question, which says, what is the correct syntax for declaring a pointer in C language? So we have our four options. Option A, int star ptr. Option B, ptr int. Option C, int ptr star. Then option D, star ptr int. So here the correct answer will be option A. As you can see, in C language, the star is used to declare a pointer. And by writing int star ptr, we can declare a point, which is a type of integer type. Let's jump to our next question. Which of the following correctly access the value stored at the memory address pointed to by a pointer? So we have our four options. Option A says star ptr. Option B is ptr. Option C is ampersand ptr. And option D is ptr star. So what it is talking about? It is talking about how to access the value stored at the memory address pointed to. So it is talking about accessing a value which is present in some memory address. So in order to do that, we have to use this star ptr syntax. So here the correct answer will be option A. As you can see, the dereference operator star. So this star is known as dereference operator, is used to access the value stored at the address pointed to by a pointer. So let's jump to our next question. This is also a output based question. So it says, what does the following program do? So we have started our main method, and here we have a integer type of array with size 3, and it contains three values, 1, 2, and 3. And after that, we're simply printing the first index of the array, and simply we're returning 0. So we have four options. Option A says it will print 1. Option B, it says it will print 2. Option B, 3. Or option D says compiler error. So you can comment down the correct answer below. So here the correct answer will be 2. So option B. As you can see, array in C are 0 indexed. So the first index of array refers to the second element, which is 2. So here this 1 is stored inside the 0th index of the array, 2 stored in the first index of the array, and 3 stored in second index of the array. So if we are accessing the index 1, then it will definitely print this 2. So here the correct answer will be option B. Let's jump to our next question. What is the output of the following code? Here also we have a main method, and after that we have three int type variable. So here A contains 1, B contains 2, and C contains 3. And after that we are simply printing A, B, C. But you can see here some spaces are there. So you have to answer that in which fashion this A, B, C will be get printed. So we have our four options. Option A is 1, 2, 3 without any spaces. Option B is 1, 2, 3 with some intermediate spaces. And option B says it will generate the compiler error. And option D is 3, 2, 1 with some spaces. So here the correct answer will be option B. So you can see the explanation that the printf function prints the values of a, b, and c separated by spaces. So the output is 1 space 2 space 3. Let's jump to our next question. What is the correct way to allocate memory dynamically in C? So here we are talking about dynamic memory allocation. Option A is int ARR equal to malloc, and inside that 10 into size of int. Option B says int star ARR equal to malloc, and inside that 10 into size of int. Option C says int ARR equal to alloc, inside that 10. And option D says int ARR, inside the square braces 10. So here the correct answer will be option B. As you can see, malloc allocates dynamic memory in C, and the result needs to be cast to an integer pointer. The correct syntax is int star ARR equal to malloc, and inside that 10 into size of int. So here why this particular option is correct, because whenever we are allocating memory dynamically, we have to always use an integer pointer, and after that the keyword is malloc we have to use, and after that we have to specify the size numerically, and after that into then size of int. So let's jump to our next question. What will be the output of the following code? So here we are writing, so we are starting our main method, and inside that we have an array, and it is the integer array. And after that, here you have to look at very carefully. So here we are printing array's third index and simply returning 0. So we have our four options: option A 30, option B 0, option C garbage value, and option D a compiler error. So here the correct answer will be a garbage value. Okay, you can read the explanation that the array ARR has only 3 elements, and we started from the index 0 to 2. And if we try to access the third index of that particular array, so it is definitely a undefined behavior, so it will throw us a garbage value. So this 10 is stored in 0th index, 20 is stored in first index, and 30 is stored in second index. But you were accessing third index, so it will definitely give us a garbage value. So let's jump to our next question. What will be the output of the following code? We have started our main method, and after that we have an integer type variable x, which is assigned with 5, and after that we have a pointer p, which holds the address of x. So here p is storing the address of x, and after that we are simply printing star p and return 0. So you can guess what can be the correct answer. Option A is 5, option B is memory address of x, option C is 0, option D is compiler error. So here the correct answer will be 5. As you can see, star p dereferences the pointer p, which points to x. So it prints the value of x, which is 5. So this star is a dereference operator, which is used to access the value which is present in some address. So here p is storing the address of x, and by using this star we are simply printing the value which is stored in p. So here we are getting the output as 5. To our next question, what will be the output of the following code? Inside the main method we have a integer type variable having value as 5, and after that we have a pointer which holds the address of a, and after that we are simply assigning 10 to that pointer, then we are simply printing a, then return 0. So after executing this particular code, what we can get? So we have our four options. Option A is 5, option B is 10, option C is compiler error, and option D is none of the above. So now let's identify what it can generate. So here A's value is 5, and in this step P stores the address of A, and after that we have written star P equal to 10. So star P is used to access the value stored in a memory address. So P stores the address of A, and by using star we can access its value. So there we are assigning 10. So this A's value will get updated here. So now if we print here A, then it will definitely print the value as 10. So here you can see the explanation which says by using the pointer P, we modify the value of A through dereferencing. So the value of A gets changed to 10. So I hope you got to know how it got changed. Let's jump to our next question. Which function in C?
Is used to deallocate memory.
So we have our four options. Option A says free function. Option B says delete function. Option C says release function. Or option D says clear function. So here it's an easy one. So its correct answer will be option A. As you can see, the free function is used to deallocate memory that was previously allocated with malloc, calloc, and realloc. So in order to deallocate memory, we have to simply use free function. Our next question is, which of the following is used to generate random numbers in C? Option A, rand function. Option B, random function. Option C, r underscore num function. Or option D, generate underscore rand function. Here the correct answer will be option A. As you can see, the rand function generates random numbers in C and it is declared in stdlib.h header file. So in order to use this rand function, first you have to include stdlib.h header file. So our 19th question is, which of the following is the correct way to declare a function pointer in C? Look at this question carefully. It is talking about function pointer, means a function which returns a pointer. So option A says int star fptr, then int. Option B says int, after that parenthesis and inside that star fptr, then int. Option C says int star, after that inside parenthesis star fptr, and after that int. And option D says int fptr and inside that int. So here the correct answer will be option B. You can read the explanation which says function pointers are declared by specifying the return type, which is here in this case, which is here int, then followed by the pointer in parentheses. Here you can see star fptr, then the parameter types. So here the correct answer will be option B. So let's jump to our next question. What is the value of x after executing the following code? Let's see what is the code given here. So inside the main method, we have x of type integer as 10. After that, int y equal to x plus 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 x. Then we are simply printing x and then return 0. And we have our four options. Option A 11, 12, 13 and 14. You can look at this question and comment down the correct answer below. So let's solve it. So here in this step, it is not an issue. X is equal to 10 only. After that, y equal to, we have written here x plus 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 x. So here we are using a post increment operator, and here we are using a pre increment operator. So when we use a post increment operator, the value of x will get after this particular statement is executed. And when we use this pre-increment operator, that time only this value will get increased. Means in this particular moment, this value of x will get increased. So in this particular step, the value of x will be 10 only. Okay, after that, in this step, the value of x will get increased by 1, which is 11. And after this particular statement got executed, so 10 plus 1 is 11 and 11 plus 1 is 12. And we are simply returning 0. So when we print x here, the value it generate will be option B. As you can see, x plus plus increments x after its value is used, and plus plus x increments x before its value is used. After the two operations, x becomes 12. So I hope you got to know how this increment operator is being used. Let's jump to our next question. What will be the output of the following code? We have our main method, and inside that we have two variables, a and b of type int, and a contains 1 and b is 1. And after that, a if statement present, here 10, a minus minus greater than 0 plus plus b, simply putting the value of a and b. You can see we have some options here. So I will read out for you. Option A says 0, 1. Option B says 1, 1. Option C says 0, 2. And option D says it is a compiler error. So here, let's solve this question. So in the first step, we have A as 1 and B as 1. So here inside this if statement, A minus minus is greater than 0. Is this particular statement true or not? So here we are using post decrement operator, means the value of A will not get changed in this particular moment. So here the value of A will remain as 1. So does 1 is greater than 0, true or false? So it's a true only. So whenever we are using a if statement and the first statement inside the if is true, then it will not check for the later condition. So here in this particular code, after this condition is true, the system will directly jump to the next statement, which is F statement. So here we are simply printing A and B. So as we decremented A in the above step, now after executing this particular step, the value of A is decreased by 1. So now the value of A is 0 and B is still 1. So here the correct answer will be option A. As you can see in the explanation, the A minus minus greater than 0 evaluates to true. So the OR operator shortcuts, and plus plus 2 greater than B is not evaluated. So the system directly jumps this step to this step, and the value of A becomes 0 and B remains 1. So I hope you got to know. Let's jump to our next question, which says, what does the following code print? So here inside the main method, we have int A as 5, int B as 2, int result equal to A divided by B. And after that, we are simply printing the result variable. You can guess the correct answer down below. So here we have four options. Option A says 2, B says 2.5, C says 3, D says compiler error. So its correct answer will be option A. As you can see, integer division in C truncates the decimal part. So 5 by 2 gives 2, not 2.5. Because A and B both are of type integer. So if we divide A divided by B, it will actually generate 2.5. But 2.5 we are storing again inside a integer type variable. So there the 0.5 will be truncated by the C language. So we will store only 2. That's why the correct answer will be 2 only. So let's jump to our next question. What is the result of the following operation? So here we have two integer type variables, A with the value 2 and B with the value 5. And here we are simply printing A and B. So we have our four options, 0, 1, 2, 3. So now let's solve this question. So in binary, the value of 2 will be 1 and 0. And the value of 5 will be 1, 0, then 1. So now if we add these two values, so 0 and 1 will become 0, 1 and 0 will become 0. So here also we have a 0. So 0 and 1 also become 0. So if we add 2 and 5, so it should print the value as 0. So now let's check what is our correct answer. So as you can see, 0 is our correct answer. So let's read the explanation. The bitwise AND operation between 2, which is 0, 1, 0, and 5, which is 1, 0, 1, results in 0, 0, 0, which decimal value is also 0. So now our next question is, which function is used to concatenate two strings in C? strcat function, concat function, strmerge function, or combine function? So its correct answer will be strcat function. As you can see, the strcat function is used to concatenate two strings. So in order to concatenate two strings, you have to use which function? strcat function in C language. So our next question is, which of the following method is used to pass parameters to a function in C? So in order to pass parameter to a function, which methods we have to use? Pass by value, pass by reference, both A and B, or none of the above. So its correct answer will be both A and B. As you can see in C, parameters can be passed either by value, means copies of values, or by references, means by using pointers. The next question is, what will be the output of the following code? Inside the main method, we have an integer type variable as x, and here its value is 4. Now we are simply printing x by shifting by one value to the left. And here we are using a left shift operator. So we have four options: 8, 2, 4, and 16. So now let's solve this question. So now the binary value of 4 is 1, 0, and 0. And what does this x left shift by 1 means? Means the binary value of x, each bit we have to shift to the left by one place. So now this 1 will reach here, this 0 will reach here, this 0 will reach here, and at the end we have to place a 0. So now this will become 1 and 000. And what is the decimal value of this particular number? So it is actually 8. Okay, so here the correct answer will be A. So now let's check. As you can see, 8 is our correct answer. For more clarification, you can go through this explanation. The left shift operator, that less than twice, shifts the bit of x one position to the left, effectively multiplying x by 2. So the result is 8. Now let's jump to our next question. Which library function can change the order of bits of a variable? Reverse underscore bits, flip, there is no built-in function for this, or bit underscore shift. So its correct answer will be option C actually. As you can read, C does not provide a built-in function to reverse the order of bits. This would have to be implemented manually by left shift or right shift operators. So our next question is, what is the purpose of the extern keyword in C? So why we are using this extern keyword in C language? Option A we have is to declare a global variable. Option B says to declare a variable as available for use across multiple files. Option C says to declare a constant. Option D is to declare a static variable. So it is talking about extern keyword. You can comment down which is the correct answer according to you. So its correct answer is option B. As you can read the explanation, the external keyword tells the compiler that variable is defined in another file, making it available for use in current file. So in order to use a particular variable which is present in another file, you have to use external keyword in C. Our next question is also a output based question. So here we have our main method, and A is of type integer and holds the value as 10. B equal to size of A plus plus. Then we are simply printing A and B. So you can guess the correct answer below. We have our four options. Option A says 11 and 4. Option B is 10 and 4. Option C is 10 and 2. And option D is 11 and 2. So let's solve this question. So in this particular step, A equal to 10. So this is clear. And after that, B equal to size of A plus plus. Here you can see we are using post increment operator. So what does that mean? It means this value of A will be incremented by 1 after this particular statement is get executed. But here is a catch. The catch is, if you are using size of function, so inside this parenthesis, if you have written any statement, then this particular statement will not get executed. Okay, this is the catch that you have to remember. So now only the size of A will be get calculated. So A here is a integer type variable, and the size of integer is 4 bytes. So here the B will become 4. And now if we simply print A and B, so here the value of A is still as 10 and B is 4. So here the correct answer will be option B. As you can see, the size of operator is evaluated at compile time, okay, and does not evaluate the expression inside it. So inside the size of function, if you have written any statement, then that particular statement will never get executed. So a plus plus is not executed and a remains as 10. The size of operator returns the size of int, which is 4 bytes, as I told you, on most of the systems. So I hope you got to know about this. So let's jump to our next question. What will be the output of the following code? We have our main method, and inside that we have defined a character type array, which is str, and inside that we're trying to store a string hello comma world. So after that, we are simply printing %t and star str. Okay, this is an interesting question. You have to look at this question carefully. So we have our four options. Option A says H, option B is E, option C is O, and option D is W. So if you are sure about this question's answer, then please comment down below. So let's solve it. So in this particular statement, in our character array, we are storing hello world. So, and here we have written like star str. So here we have not specified the index which we want to print. So it will by default take the first index of this particular array. So here what is the first index? It is 0th index, which is H. So here our correct answer will be option A. As you can see, the string str is an array of characters and star str dereferences the pointer to the first character. So here we are using this dereference operator, which is star. So it will point to the first element of the array. That's why you got the output as H. Our next question is, what is the default return type of a function if not explicitly specified in C? So this is a very basic question. Option A int, option B void, option C float, and option D char. So its correct answer will be option A. As you can see, by default, if no return type is specified, C assumes the return type to be int. So you have to remember this very carefully. Our next question is, which of the following statement is true about the recursion in C? You know recursion, the function calling function. So option A says recursion leads to infinite loops. Option B, recursion requires a base case to terminate. Option C says recursion is a faster alternative to loops. Option D says recursive function cannot have parameters. So here, look at these options very carefully. Read at least 2 times. So here the correct answer will be option B. So as you can see, recursion must have a base case to avoid infinite recursion. Otherwise, it can lead to stack overflow errors. So let's jump to our next question. Which function is used to compare two strings in C? So in order to compare two strings in C, which function we have to use? Option A says strcmp function. Option B says compare function. Option C is strcomp function. And option D is equal function. So here the correct answer will be option A. As you can see, the strcmp function compares two strings and returns 0 if they are equal, a negative value if the first string is less, and a positive value if the first string is greater. So in order to compare two strings in C, you have to use which function? strcmp function. So now let's jump to our next question. Which operator is used to access the address of a variable in C? This is also a very basic question. Option A star, option B ampersand, option C right arrow, and option D modulo operator. So here the correct answer is option B ampersand. So in this explanation, you can see the ampersand operator is used to access the memory address of a variable. Our next question is, what will be the output of the following code? So inside our main method, we have A as 5, which is an int type. B is equal to A left shift by 2. And then we are simply printing B. So we can guess the correct answer down below. We have 4 options. Option A says 10. Option B says 20. Option C says 15. And option D is 25. So now let's solve this question. So here the binary value of 5 is 1, 0, and 1. And now if we shift each bit 2 places to the left, so here 1 will reach here, and the 0 will shift to here, this 1 will shift to here, and after that 2 zeros we have to place at the right. So what is the decimal value of this? So 0, 0, this is 4 plus this is 8 and this is 16. So 16 plus 4 is become 20. So our correct answer is 20. So let's check. Option B should be our correct answer, and as it is. So as you can read the explanation, the left shift operator shifts the bits of 2 positions to the left, multiplying A by 2 twice. So 5 left shift by 2 results in 20. So this last statement means there is a shortcut to calculate it. So here we have 5 left shift by 2, right? So here the formula is whatever value you have to, if you are using left shift, then you have to use into, then 2, and then whatever value is given here, you have to use this value in the power of 2. So here we have 2. So 5 into 2 to the power 2. So it is 4, and 5 into 4 equal to 20. So our correct answer is 20. So I hope you got to know about this trick. So now let's jump to our next question, which is used to concatenate two strings in C. Option A plus, option B ampersand, option C strcat function, and option D concat function. So here the correct answer is option C. As you can see, the strcat function concatenates two strings in C, and the plus operator cannot be used for this purpose. So in order to concatenate two strings in C, you have to use strcat function. So now let's jump to our next question. What will be the output of the following code? So inside this main function, we have int x as 10, and after that we have a conditional statement which is x equal to 0. So look at this carefully. This is not equal to. This is a single equal to. So if this condition will true, then it will print true, or else it will print false. So here we have 4 options: true, false, compiler error, and undefined behavior. So this is a very important question. So let's solve it. So here in this particular moment, x is equal to 10. So value of x is 10. And now inside this if statement, we are assigning 0 to x. So now x value will become 0. So 0 means false and 1 means true. So here x value is become 0. So this statement will become false. So now if it is false, then this particular block will not get executed and it will shift to this particular statement. And now this false will be get printed. So here our correct answer will be option B. As you can see in the explanation, the assignment x equal to 0 in this particular statement results in x being set to 0, which evaluates as false in the if conditions. So false is printed. Our next question is, which of the following is the correct syntax for defining a structure in C? Option A, struct, then inside that int a comma float b, and after that semicolon. And our option B is struct, then inside that int a comma float b, and after that that semicolon. Option B says struct and open curly braces, int a semicolon float b, end of curly braces. And option D, struct curly braces, int a, then semicolon, then float b semicolon and curly braces. So if you have find out the correct answer, please comment down in the below comment section. So here the correct answer is option A. As you can see, the correct syntax for defining a structure in C includes a semicolon after closing the brace. So here this option A and option B are using semicolon after the end braces. But as you know, whenever you declare a variable, just after that we use a semicolon. So here the semicolon is not being used. That's why option A is the correct answer. So our next question says, Which of the following libraries contains functions for memory allocation in C? Option A math.h, option B memory.h, option C stdlib.h, and option D string.h. So here the correct answer will be stdlib.h. So as you can read here, the stdlib library contains functions like malloc, calloc, realloc, and free for dynamic memory allocation. So in order to use these functions, first you have to include this stdlib.h header file. Our next question is, what will be the output of the following code? So here we have a main function, and inside that we have an integer type of array which contains 10, 20, 30, and 40. And after that we have a integer pointer type variable which contains arr plus 1. Then we are simply printing star ptr plus plus and star ptr. So we have our four options. Option A 1020, option B 2020, option C 2030, and option D 3030. So now let's solve this question. So in the first step, we are simply assigning an integer array with some values as 10, 20, 30, and 40. So for this array, this is the 0th index, this is the first index, this is the second index, and this is the third index. So after that, we are using a integer type of pointer as ptr, and after that we are assigning it with arr plus 1. It means this arr refers to the 0th index of the array, and after that we are incrementing it by 1. So now this arr plus 1 refers to this first index of the array. So this ptr stores array's first index address, and after that we are printing star ptr plus plus and star ptr. So let's calculate what can be the value of ptr. So here the ptr is pointing to the first index of the array, and in this particular statement we have used post increment operator with ptr. So after executing this particular statement, the value of ptr will be incremented by 1. But for this particular statement, the value of ptr is still remain as this. So if we put a star, means we are dereferencing the memory address. So it will print the value stored in this particular address. So in the first index, what is the value present? So it is 20. So it will first print 20, and after that, in this particular moment, the value of ptr will be incremented by 1. So now it is pointing to this location. So now if we dereference it and print, then it will definitely print 30. So our correct answer will be option C. So now let's check the answers. As you can see, option C is the correct one. You can also read the explanation, which says the pointer ptr is initially set to arr plus 1 here, which points to the second element 20, means this index, the first index. The expression star ptr plus plus first dereferences ptr to get 20. So in this particular statement, we are simply printing 20, then increments ptr to point to the next element 30. Therefore, the output is 20 and 30. So now let's jump to our next question. What will be the output of the following code? So we have a integer type variable as a as 10, b as 20. Then we are using a keyword const, then int star ptr equal to %a, means this ptr is pointing to the address of a. And after that, star ptr equal to b, means whatever value is stored in ptr, that value we are changing to b. Then we are simply printing star ptr and return 0. You can guess the correct answer down below. So we have our four options. Option A says 10, option B says 20, option C says compilation error, and option D says undefined behavior. So now let's solve it. So in this particular line, we are initializing A with 10 and B is 20. So it's clear. So after that, we are using a keyword as const. So it means whatever this ptr is storing, further its value cannot be changed. So in this particular moment, we are storing the address of A inside ptr. And after that, we are trying to change the value present inside PTR. So this will definitely cause a compilation error. So now let's check our correct answer. This should be C. So now let's check it. As you can see, PTR is a pointer to a constant integer. So the value pointed by PTR cannot be modified. Therefore, the line star PTR equal to B will cause a compilation error. So point to be noted here is whenever you are using a const type variable, you cannot change the value of the variable further once it is assigned with a particular value. So now let's jump to our next question, which says which of the following is a valid example of dynamic memory allocation in C? So we have our first option as int ARR equal to malloc 10. Option B says int star ARR equal to malloc and inside that size of 10. And after that int star ARR equal to malloc 10 into size of int. Option D says int ARR 10 equal to malloc 10. So here the correct answer will be option C. As you can see, the correct way to allocate memory dynamically is to use malloc with the size of data type multiplied by the number of elements, like 10 integers in this case. So this is the correct syntax for dynamic memory allocation. So thank you so much everyone for watching this video. I hope you got to know a lot of questions and answer related to C language and your a lot of doubt are getting cleared by this video. You can comment down your score down below in the comment section and we will meet in our next video. Till then, keep coding.